Wyatt, you're actually bringing up something that might be interesting to, like, I would like to the opinion of the opinion of people who are at least aware of it, and if not, then what do you think of it?
Yeah.
Ursula von der Leyen, who is the president of the EU Commission, she had kind of made a slip where admitting that
Yeah, the
Ukraine had lost
100,000 casualty thing.
right, and then it was sort of kind of backpedaled, kind of pathetically,
She
and
backpedaled that hard.
yeah,
Anything
so
that
like,
was backpedaled is definitely true. Like
She
100%.
backpedaled that so bad.
so
Anything that
we
is
can
being censored is definitely true.
we can assume that the Ukraine has lost, like, because that was not casualties, that was dead,
Death.
100,000. Yeah, right. So and that's so we're talking. So this you're talking about a
Did
generational
she say dead?
annihilation. This is not. This is it is
She
really
said
to the
dead.
point because a hundred
She said
thousand.
dead. That's crazy.
Ukraine has 30 million people, right?
I thought she said
100,000 men of those between 18 and 24, something like that. That's a huge chunk of that population.
is huge.
That part of the generation, and that's
And
and they are not even halfway through the war. Maybe this can go on if various factors come into play.
And so if you use a very very lousy way of putting, if there's one death equals to 3 other injured soldiers, that is like 400,000 troops, 400,000 casualties. So
That would
That jives
explain
with what
Ukraine's
people are
manpower.
saying.
I want to mention something. Like, and plus, when those casualties, we're talking about like permanently blind for the rest of your life, like a handicap to a wheelchair. These are some serious fucking casualties that they're going to be on Social Security. You like a 18-year-old
for real.
man gets his legs blown off. He's going to be on welfare for like decades. So like, this is like some serious casualties. Like people like, oh, casualties, like, oh, you hurt your finger. No, we're talking about like limbs.
No, you got
mentally retarded from like
Well, look at those guys.
PTSDs.
Yeah,
Look at the guys-
PTSD.
look at the white
PTSD from this war is
contrast.
going to be crazy.
And that translates to like broken families. They're going to become fathers. They're going to abuse their kids, and that just causes like generational cycles. And
I can't imagine the
uncalculable
PTSD from this war.
how much.
So,
man.
It's
So
just
someone
uncalculable.
I forgot who sent me. Someone sent me a video of I think a foreign fighter who actually went back. So he got injured and then he got sent back. And then throughout the whole video, right, you can see that he's not normal. Like he got severe PTSD when he's talking about what happened.
Imagine.
Like because he was
Is this the guy who
so he
joined
went in-
Azov? The one who survived 2 encounters? I think I know the interview
Wasn't
you're
that really
talking about.
skinny dude? I think I know what you're talking about. It was like really
Let me
skinny
find
guy.
the link. Let me find the
Yeah.
link. I also cannot remember. But what was stuck is that he started off, when going in, like as if we're playing computer games, right? We are very excited, we want to kill some Russians. Then after that, then people start to die. So when he was talking about, the situation on the ground, he said that, this guy is dead. This guy was so nice, he was, but then he's dead. Like he totally, disillusioned. And he regretted. He said that he shouldn't have gone, and he discouraged people from going. But I'm gonna find the link. You guys can continue.
I'm pretty sure I know who this guy is.
Can I add something to that?
It's a
This
I also
guy's
really
story is my
like-
favorite foreign volunteer story because it's just the way he tells the story is incredibly dramatic. I highly recommend watching it.
I
Yeah.
tend
Well,
to
I want to
like.
mention something.
I
Can I
tend
add
to feel very
something?
bad for those guys though.
Yeah, but
Personal.
Yeah.
First of all, we should say hello to Joshua, who joined
Hi,
us.
Joshua.
Hi, Joshua.
I just want.
And I'm going to add some points to this. There is a lot of misinformation on both sides. Don't forget that in each war, even in the Iraq war, there are a lot of things censored and uncovered after about 5 or maybe 10 years. Everybody was, like they got nuclear power, nuclear bombs, and then they had nothing. And it really plays an important role in psychology for both sides. And about the war, and I'm gonna just tell you this: my grandfather, which fought in the Second World War, when we ask about the war, when we approach him and say and tell him, tell about the war, tell about how you, as we were little, how you killed the German, how you were the superhero, and and he said this only once. He used to tell us like, war is hell, and he would just stop. and he never, he never say, I killed that many Germans. And he usually, if we ask him consistently, he started crying. So the psychological condition of those people, even after many years, it doesn't improve. You are scarred for life. And guys, war is truly hell. And
Yeah.
yes.
But the other thing I want to mention is that not only do the people get PTSD, but their family members also get PTSD because they have to deal with this, because whatever happens to one person, it spills over to the family.
Yes. For
Emotional
example, my great grandfather used to wake up at nights and scream a lot from the horror he have seen. And even if we ask him, we're like, what's going on? He usually just went for smoking and drinks some vodka. That's what he did.
All my great grandfathers served on the Soviet Union as well as yours. And yeah, my grandfather lost a leg because he stepped on a landmine, ended up killing himself because of PTSD. So even my personal bloodline, I already have my bloodline was affected by PTSD big time, alcoholism, all that stuff. But another thing I want to mention is that the psychological effects of soldiers, when they feel like their sacrifices were in vain, that exacerbates the PTSD. That's why Vietnam was such a devastating war on the collective conscious of the United States, because the Vietnam soldiers didn't see their sacrifices pay the price, because Saigon was taken over, and that's devastating because it's all my homies died for something that
for what
you didn't even win. That's even because when you lose, you can get more PTSD.
Look at Afghanistan after 20 years.
Isn't that just the
Afghanistan is
history of the
even
human race,
worse.
though?
Yeah, because Afghanistan
Yeah,
is
that's why,
a war. That makes it even worse.
I fear for a lot of the foreign volunteers who get sent back home, because many of the foreign volunteers from the interviews I listened to are guys who were veterans of Afghanistan and shit, and they felt like they needed purpose to find a place where they'd be appreciated. So if Ukraine loses this war, and a lot of these guys who were sent home because of injuries, a lot of these guys who were veterans of Afghanistan who felt like their sacrifices were in vain, if Russia wins this war,
Zelensky's
these
making
guys
it
are
worse
going to get so
because he's
messed up in
embarrassing
the head,
veterans.
even more than they already are.
I think it's just funny that we conceptualize this by Western PTSD, right? Like soldiers come home, they have PTSD in this war. All those Ukrainians, they're going to have PTSD. It's going to be in a country that's littered with tens of billions of uncontrolled weapons, essentially. So it's chaos, and that's what's really sad. It's that our PTSD. I'm scared for it. It sucks, but it's dwarfed by how PTSD is going to affect Ukraine at this point.
It's like a giant social experiment, in a lot of ways, because we haven't experienced a war like this on this level ever. So it's a chance for all of Europe to they're basically using Ukraine as crash dummy, experiment.
I mean, we as Europeans, but in other continents, they are experiencing it. I mean, Syria, Libya, etc. I think a lot of people experience.
Plus, another thing that exacerbates PTSD is when the soldiers are conscripted. They don't even want to be there, and they're forced to fight. Oh, that even takes it another level of PTSD, because your volition is taken away, your autonomy is taken away. You're used for your body, basically. You're basically prostituted in a lot of sense. Yeah,
I do
that
know
makes it another level of unethical.